trying to like, get us to log in on Walmart. Live.
Hello, how are you all doing tonight? We are live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just talked to myself. Good job. All right, welcome to Passing for Perfect with Corey and Kynisha. Tonight we are going to be talking about the five love languages. I think this is kind of general. I don't think this is like only, and the only love languages that there are. But I feel like the majority of things that could be considered a love language kind of falls into these five categories, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's general. It's pretty much you pretty much fall into one of these classes.
Yeah, you can. I think most people do. I just feel like there are other things out there that maybe this is not covered with, but that doesn't cover everything because we're different, we're unique, we have our likes and our dislikes that may not fall in these categories, or we may not think that they fall in these categories. But I think this is a pretty good outline to start with to kind of know your love language. And what a love language is basically what how you prefer to be loved. And it's not something that you are actually speaking or you're actually doing, but it's what you need done or spoken to you. So when you know yourself in that area, you can better communicate that with your partner so that they can know what it is that you need. But the whole point of taking the quiz, hopefully you all saw the posting today. You were able to take the quiz if you haven't taken it in the past, which a lot of people kind of know about this already. Some people do not. So the link to take the quiz is posted on our page on Facebook on Passing for Perfect with Corey and Condition. So if you have not taken that quiz, take the quiz, get to know a little bit more about yourself in the area of love. Okay?
Yeah. And love, how you want to be loved. The love languages really is about how you want to be loved, how you feel love, how you receive love. And a lot of times what happens is we try to love our partner, our spouse, right, the other person in the way that we want to be loved, right, which isn't always the way they want to be loved. So, right, like, say for instance, the five love languages. We'll do that first. The five love languages are physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation,
Gifts.
Acts of service, and gifts. With me, I'm not a gift person. I take gifts, I accept gifts, and I appreciate gifts. But that's like at the bottom of my chart. Like it may be of I don't know, out of 100%, it may be like I'm sure it's less than 5%.
Mine was 3%.
So I don't even think mine registered when it comes to gifts. I don't even think I don't even think mine. Hey, it's right here. Zero. My percentage was literally zero for gifts. But I got gifts today, y'all, and I'm excited about my gifts. But that isn't my love language. Like that's so that's why I'm saying it's those things are general. It's five general things, but for the most part, you are all of them on some level. So it kind of breaks the test kind of breaks you down in percentages of which ones is the most important to you. So for me, gifts is the least important, but I was excited about my gifts. So that doesn't mean doing those things don't appeal to you. They just don't appeal to you to the level of where you feel the love and affection from the person who's providing.
It really means that if you know that about yourself, it can help your partner because it means that if gifts is like bottom of the totem pole for you and they feel like they're doing all these things for you, buying you all these nice things and they feel unappreciated because they're doing so much and going out of their way buying you all these different things when it's really, really low on the list of showing me that you love me. So when you get to know this about yourself, you can verbally say, hey, it's not, I'm not, too quick to fall in love with gifts. That's not a big deal to me. Tell me you love me. You don't have to buy me anything. So,
which kind of reflects for both of us that because we're not materialistic people.
right.
So the gifts isn't a way to sway us when you
Right.
try to get our affection, our love, our attention. Those are things that matter to us. It's not saying that money doesn't matter, because money does, but it's not something that affects us when it comes to relationships or being with someone. Because you got a lot of money. Like, there are people who money is and gifts is priority for them. Like, buy me things, love me with expensive gifts, and that's how they are attached to you. That's how they fall for you.
Right.
That's how they become a part of you. And really, it's in the middle.
Um, the five love languages. We took the test. Every now and then. It's not to say that those are your five love languages forever. Okay, because we grow, we change. My favorite thing that recently I just got this that someone said just made not quite even a month ago that I have like grabbed onto because it is like the most simple way to understand being in a relationship, a long term relationship, a marriage, or anything, something on that level, is that when you get married, you're not ready to get married until you're ready to marry all of them. And when I heard that, I thought they meant like the family and all these different people, but they meant all of them. I needed to be ready to be married to all of them, as in him and all of the different him that he would be during the course of our marriage. No, we got married, he was 31. He's 49. So there had to be some growth and change in the 18-year period since we have been together. So you have to be ready to love all of those people that they will be in the course of their lifetime. And if you got married or you plan to get married and you're thinking this person is going to be that person that you're standing at the altar with that day, you are going to be in for a rude awakening as the time and the years go by because nobody remains the same. So for that reason, it's a good idea to take this test periodically, maybe every few years, or if you go through something serious in your relationship, something may alter in your mindset. So it's best then maybe to go back and kind of do some more checks and balances or whatever as far as this test is concerned, because some things that were not as important to you in the beginning may be more important to you later on. So that would be my advice when it comes to taking this test and how to weigh the test when it comes to how it applies to your actual life. It tells on you.
Yeah,
It
and
tells
it's
on you.
for y'all asking in the chat about the quiz. The quiz is on our page. If you go to the Passing for Perfect with Corey and Kynisha page, it's on the page,
It's
so you
also
can.
on our regular page.
It's also on our regular page, and you can just click the link and go from there. And so that's where you can go to answer it. And I take it periodically because for the simple fact I know I've changed. I know I've evolved. I know I'm different than what I was when we first got married 16 years ago. I know I've changed a lot since then. So my love languages has kind of shifted. And for me, let's see. Let's go to the test. I have it here, and now I can't find it. Don't y'all judge me.
I'll go to mine.
Okay, here we go. So, like I said, it's five. It's physical touch. Um, and physical touch is my number one right now. When I first took this test, it wasn't my number one. Probably was three.
Right.
It was probably was three or four, but that has changed. It's changed to the point where, and there's always someone just doesn't care that we're recording. You might as well come on in now. Everybody heard you.
And quiet.
And quietly. Thank you. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So
anybody wants a 23-year-old, you can have him.
free.
For free. No, I gotta charge something. But so my love language has changed from in percentage physical touch, 33%. I'm tied for words of affirmation and quality time. They're both at 27%. And then I have 13% for acts of service. Once again, 0% on 0% on gifts. Even though I like gifts, it's not important to me. It doesn't change my love or affection for you if you're not giving me gifts.
You're buying me something. Mine. Let's go to see what I got going on. Wait, that's not the right thing. This one. All right, so I am 32% on quality time. That's my big deal. 32% is with quality time. 29% for me is on physical touch. 23% is what's the other one?
Words of affirmation.
No.
So you must be acts of service.
Acts of service. It's got a bell. I guess that is,
that's a service
ding,
bell.
ding,
Ding, ding. Let's go.
Service. Okay. And then I have 13% on words of affirmation and 3% on gifts. Words of affirmation and gift giving is so small to me because it's kind of generic and easy. That's my perception. So, and that's because you can tell me all kinds of sweet nothings, but if your actions don't follow it, whatever. And you can buy me all the things in the world, but same thing. Just because you're buying gifts for me does not mean that you actually love and care for me. You could just be trying to
cover up.
Yeah.
Cover up. And that's the thing for me at words of affirmation. For most men, for the most part, words of affirmation is going to be in your top three for most men. Because
it's the ego thing.
It's not even an ego thing. It's like, especially black men, because you don't hear it. You see so much. You see so much negative about black men, black relationships, black fatherhood. You're always being drugged. So the opportunity to hear you're doing a good job. Thank you for this. It's as simple like we preach this to everybody. We go to counseling. Counseling is a thing for us. Counseling is a thing for us because we feel like it's important to your marriage. Even there's nothing going on, just to have wellness checkups with your therapist. Because trust me, people, you're gonna always need a mediator. Case in point, we have a group of friends, and today we have a polo with our group of friends, and we polo together in our group. And in that group, we were talking about narcissism today, and it was a back and forth between me and her. We were actually saying the same thing, just two different ways. She keeps saying it, we're not, but someone came in and said, you guys are saying the same thing,
another man,
just two different ways. What this doesn't make if it's male or female?
Because
it's the point he understood. He listened to both. He understood
it from the perspective of how men think.
And he also understood it from the way you were seeing it, and which was how he was able to say we're saying the same thing.
Y'all,
let's not get into
This is my thing. If someone says something is a way, and someone else says something is not a way, we cannot be saying the same thing.
But we weren't saying it. I wasn't saying it was not. You weren't even saying it was not.
I was.
Okay.
Anyway, I keep saying.
Anyway, you're gonna need a counselor because you're gonna need a mediator
for things like this.
For things like this, because absolutely we were saying the same thing. Anyway, be that as it may, stop making the faces on my video. Now you got off track and off the rails.
Anyway, I think that a lot of us think that we want certain things, but in actuality, we don't realize our excitement behind other things. We don't realize that certain things tug at us a little bit more. Like a lot of women really think, oh, I want him to take me here. I want him to take me there. I want him to do this for me. I want him to buy me this. I want somebody that's going to buy me things and give me things and be able to do this, that, and the other. But if you walk in the house from work and the kitchen is full of dishes, you would spaz out, but he's handing you a gift. It's like, I don't want that. Why is stuff everywhere? I'm that person. A lot of women are that person to a degree. And there are some women who could care less about the dishes in the sink. Give me the big box. They'll run to the box and whatever, they'll get washed. But a lot of us grow up thinking jewelry and clothes and trips and out to fancy dinners and all these things. And I think that's because that's the stuff that we see on TV and movies, and it looks so, like it's all fantasized. Until we get in real life, every day, we have children, we have jobs, we're tired, and then all of a sudden, small things mean more.
Yeah, and that's kind of like things that matter early on don't matter as much now when it comes to finding what makes me feel good, what makes me happy, what makes me feel loved. And when you talk about physical touch, it's not always a sexual thing. Right. Physical touch is not always the bedroom. It's hugs, it's hand holding, it's cuddling up under me when we're on the couch.
Rub of the face.
Rub of the face, touch, like simple things like that. Like come and sit on my lap and talk to me. Those type of things. When we lay in the bed at night, cut up under me in the bed. We're sitting on the couch, put your feet on me, lean on me. Those type of things. We all wrap your arm around me, hug me. And those are the different. Those are all included in physical touch. And it's crazy because I'm in need of affection and I'm not affectionate. So I had to learn to be more affectionate.
He's still learning.
Still working on it, but that's just the nature of the beast.
And you also have to be willing to learn and apply. So the whole thing about this show is learning the love languages.
Right.
Learning where you fall in those love languages, and then learning how to apply the love languages with your relationship. If when the two of you do this test, and then you all bounce off of each other where you fall, and you really sit and you think about it, you need to send your answers or your results to your partner. Your partner needs to send those results to you. A lot of couples fall into a bad habit of doing for their partner what they want done for them and thinking, why are you not
responding,
excited and responding to me? Because if somebody did this for me, I would be so happy. Well, that's you.
And it's not about you. It's about the other person.
It's about the other person.
And that's the whole point. The selflessness of learning the other person and how to make them feel loved. Like this is prime example. Acts of service. Mm-hmm. It's 4 out of 5 for me. So if I'm in need of a hug or a kiss or just to be up under you and you come home and you start folding my clothes or putting stuff up for me or doing something for me, I appreciate it, but that's not what I need. And that's what happens. People get caught up in, okay, when I come home, I want the kitchen clean. So when you're feeling unloved, or if I text and say, "Hey, I'm feeling needy today," I don't want you to come home and start cleaning up to make the house look nice. What good does that? What does that do for me when I'm saying I'm feeling needy today? Absolutely nothing. You should be going to the very top of the food chain, which is physical touch. My first level. Right. Come hug me. Come hold me. Make me feel love. Like it's.
And you know what? I owe you an apology.
Why?
I'm so sorry because I did that last week, didn't I?
Absolutely did it last week.
That last week. He messaged me. He said, I'm feeling some type of way today. I don't know what it is or why, but I just need to be hugged.
And guess what we do, guys?
And guess what? And because quality time is my number one love language, I went to the daiquiri shop. I bought us both a daiquiri, something to just chill on. Then I set up our little cornhole game outside, and I'm like, come on outside, because in my mind, if we have some time together, and just spend some time talking with each other and laughing with each other and just loving on each other, then I can help him feel better about whatever is going on. But that was me.
That was her. That was her love language. That what I would have done for her.
Right.
Because it would have been, okay, for her, it would have been put the phone down,
right.
Put the phones down, sit down, watch a movie,
right.
Let's play cards.
Yeah.
We can go outside. We can go sit outside and just talk, no phones, take a ride, go on a date, just time, spend time together. That would have been it for her. But for me, I ended up feeling worse the next day because I didn't get what I needed. And I think we ended up having
we had a talk.
We had a talk because it was like she's like, what was wrong? And my all my things manifest in dreams. So then I have a dream that manifests something subconscious because I didn't get what I needed. So now I have a dream. Those dreams affect me emotionally. So the next day, I'm in a bad mood all over again. Simply because all I wanted was a hug and a kiss. And instead, we're outside playing cornhole because quality time. And it's crazy, but that's what
it'll happen. I mean, you're not gonna get everything. You ain't gonna ace everything. But it's that you're trying, to you're trying to mirror the person and what they're giving you. You're trying to give it back. So it's very, very important that you learn the love languages, first of all. Secondly, know where you fall and how much of what is really your thing. Because, we all, like we said, we all, love these things to a degree. But some of them we respond to more. So when we said today, the misunderstanding of the love languages, that was a misunderstanding on my part. Because I love these things, and he's having a bad day and all these things, and
for her.
I'm not thinking on his top love language. It's my love language. It's like this will be a good ending to a long day, to sit and hang and chill. When really that was something that I would love to do. I would love for that to happen for me, set me up.
And I did it. I did it with no gripe. I was out there. We did it. She probably felt wonderful at the end of the day when she went to bed. But I'm just saying, she got her love language was fulfilled.
Right.
For her, for that day, we spent time together. Brandon says their love language is the back porch. Quality time, back porch. Take y'all sip, watch the birds fly by. We do that. I mean, we sit outside.
On the back porch.
We sit outside on the back porch, and that's what we do. So it's different for everybody. You have to learn it. You have to adjust. You have to be flexible. You have to communicate. You have to communicate, and you have to be transparent about things.
Very transparent. And some people are afraid to say
that doesn't work for me.
That doesn't work for me because they're afraid to hurt the partner's feelings, because a lot of times we get excited. Like I was excited. I went and I was like, I'm going buy these daiquiris. We gonna sit. We gonna have a good time. I'm like, come outside. And he's like, what?
Me being a supportive husband, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Like, come outside. He's like,
works.
I'm like, come on outside. Because I'm like, look what I did. And he's like, okay,
I appreciate it. Not what I needed, but hey, we're good. And the crazy thing is, I used to tell her this, and I think physical touch has jumped my words for affirmation. Physical touch was always in my top two or three. I think quality time and physical touch were like right there on top of each other. And then words of affirmation was always first because I guess you want like I'm one of those people who want to hear I'm doing a good job. Hey, I appreciate you washing dishes. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the trash out. Thank you for sending me flowers or whatever it is. I'm that person. I want to hear that. But now it's not as important to me because she's built equity. Like I know you built equity into me. I know you appreciate these things, right. Even when you don't always say it. You at least try to show it. Right. So that doesn't. That's kind of way. That's kind of gone away. And I think what's pushed physical touch up for me is the fact that I'm learning how to be more affectionate. So because I'm looking to be more affectionate for you is something I realize, hey, this is cool. I like this. I want this. Come on, sit. But I've always said, remember I used to always say, we'd be out. I was like, why you don't sit on my level, be out like everybody else might do? Why you don't touch me like this the whole thing?
Type of person. It
now
would be an act of Congress to be like, you want to hold my hand? Hold my hand?
And now it's like, hey, mom, you better. Why you ain't got my hand? Why you ain't got me?
So it definitely acts of service was like my top, and now it's in the middle for me. And that's because I learned how to slow down to a degree. I'm still, all over the place, but
all the time.
I learned that the time we need to spend time together. We've seen couples get, to the point where they're empty nesters and they're like lost and confused on don't know what to do with themselves because
you're always on the go.
Yeah,
it's always go,
moved for the children, worked and all these other things, and then now they're at home by themselves, and it's like I'm tired of looking at you. I don't even know what to do with you, So.
And that's another thing about the person you're with being your friend, your best friend. I know people say best friend, but
it should be your best friend.
It should be your best friend, but in some cases it isn't. But y'all should be close friends. This should be your closest friend at the very least. So you think?
Yeah.
You think closest is the best?
Yeah. Okay. Because you're gonna tell your spouse. I mean, I'm gonna say best friend, where you're probably gonna have a best friend that's not in the house, of course, but you're still gonna tell your spouse or partner or whatever stuff that you're not gonna tell that person.
True, absolutely.
So yeah. The biggest to me misconception on love languages is that some people think I'm not supposed to have to tell you.
The lies you preach.
There are people who feel like, well, we've been together X amount of time. You should know by now.
You don't even know half the time. You don't even know what your love language is because you're telling your spouse, I need this. I want this. And then when they give you that, it's not enough. And you're like, well, why isn't this working for me? Why isn't them buying me a gift or taking me this place or doing this isn't working? Why isn't the spark? Because you don't know your love language. You think that's what it is, when in reality it's something else. And that something else is what's bringing you guys closer to each other, what's giving you that life, that spark. Like for us, I don't know if this is even TMI, but whatever. We have a thing where, like, of reconnection. Okay. Physical touch is really important for both of us. So, like you say, sex is big for us because that's a spiritual, emotional thing that we have to reconnect. When we're feeling distant, that's one thing we know that we can always reconnect, re-energize, and rebuild. So that's for somebody else, it may be outside on the porch sitting. Somebody else that may be going out on a hike, bike riding, whatever. But it's something that connects the two of you at all times.
I encourage people to really get to know themselves and not the fantasy self, because that's the problem for a lot of people. When it comes to the true love language, is that they have this big fantasized life that they think they want, and then it's really not the stuff. You've just seen it so much, and you've seen other people, and you like you had the heart emoji, when you saw things, and you thinking this is I would love that, but truly it doesn't even rate, too big for you if it was to happen for you. Like he said, it'll happen for you, and then it's like,
that really wasn't what I needed or what I wanted.
Ain't giving
it didn't give it what, yeah.
As they say. It's a lot of that, I think, that goes on, and then people get emotionally distraught. Like a certain form of depression can form when it comes to your relationship, because you don't even understand, you don't know why you're not feeling, you almost feel like, do I really even love this person, because they did this big old thing for me and I'm not even feeling it like I thought I was gonna feel it. Maybe that's not the person for me, actually.
Or you don't feel that person loves you because what you need or what you want from them, they're not giving, because you don't know exactly what you need, because you are living in a fantasy of what you think the situation of the relationship you think how you should be loved. And that's why you need to learn your love language. And especially for single people, before you get married, single people, take this test. Learn how you should be loved, and start with yourself. Start with loving yourself that way. Buy yourself a gift. Take yourself out. Go enjoy yourself if that's your thing. Do that. And that way, when someone comes along, you don't necessarily want to tell somebody early on what your love language is, because then they'll use that against you.
Well, I mean, I think that you don't have to, but you have a well-established regimen of taking care of yourself. And that can be by somebody. If you are someone who regularly, that person knows that I'm going to have to take this person shopping.
But make sure that's really your love language. Don't be putting out this false sense of security, or this false, and have somebody thinking that's what they should be doing, and they're running to that, and then you're like, oh, this is it. They know me, they don't understand me. You don't understand you. You've played that game with yourself, and now you expected other people to figure out the real you. And that's not gonna work.
And stop substituting. And some of us substitute one thing for the other, thinking, well, if I can't have this, then I'll just do this. And that is a bad habit to pick up. It's a bad habit to pick up, instead of creating the right foundation. Because like you just mentioned a minute ago, resentment, if you go too long getting the wrong thing
quickly, and resentment sets in, you might even like something happen. The thing is, I see people do this, and I listen to a lot of people. A lot of people tell me stuff going on in their situations, and it's like, but what about you? Like, what did you do to cause that issue? What was your part in it? Did you always have to accept your part? Accountability is big when it comes to being loved. You have to hold yourself accountable for being loved the way you should be, just as much as you need to hold that other person accountable for loving you the way you need to be loved. And sometimes we take that resentment and we use it to get what we want, instead of being honest and transparent. Like, say for instance, like, a person is working love you the way you want to be loved. And you, even though they may be everything right, and you they didn't do it when you wanted them to do, you have that resentment that you haven't gotten rid of. So instead of getting rid of it, you're still back standoffish with it. And with you still being standoffish with it, you're not allowing that love to flow. And you just all you're doing is just adding seeds to that resentment that you need back into that resentment jar.
The one thing that I like about learning your love languages and then knowing where you are in those love languages is it dispels this old cliche that so many of us use, but it can kill it, and that is it's the thought that counts. It's not always the thought that counts. Um, when it comes to me as a person, I feel like I verbalize pretty well. What'd you say?
Yes, just a second.
Oh,
They say we couldn't in and out.
technical difficulty.
Yeah, sure. Y'all have to understand, Cox can be tragic when it comes to internet signals. Give me a second.